second. Actually, not even a second.
Yeah.
How is Pete doing these days, by the way?
Hey, look, Pete's doing good, but it's his struggles that have been public are, there's nothing fake about them. He is a guy who deals with a lot. Being that famous and having that background and having, those issues that he has, which he's been very open about, about dealing with mental illness his whole life, it's not easy. And he's not the only person in my life with those kinds of problems.
Yeah, it's a big thing in comedy in general.
There are other people I'm very close with who have very similar problems. So it's unique to me because I don't see it. I'm used to, being close with people who are in pain. More so than one might expect, and that's what you deal with. But he's been very he's been very strong with a lot of that stuff, and it's really I'm proud of him because I don't have that time bomb in my head that a lot of my friends have.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Neither
for
do I,
no
thank
reason
God.
things are going to be bad. They're going to feel really bad, and they're going to feel hopeless. And that's, like I said, that's other people in my life that I love very much that I have to try to be there for. Also, it's a lot. I mean, it's so easy for people to say, because I'm like, my grandmother will say something like, "How could someone be depressed when they're rich?"
Yeah.
It's like, it's not that simple.
Yeah, you think he's a guy you think has it all. He's like famous, young, fucking the beautiful woman in the world, and yeah, it's just some people not wired correctly.
I mean, yeah, it's just it's unlucky, and then part of it's comedy, the same electricity in your brain. I'm not trying to be metaphorical. I mean, literally,
Yeah.
when the people who have high electricity content in that part of their brain,
Yeah.
the creativity and depression are the same part.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have overactive both.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
very common for that.
Yeah.
And
I'm
just-
glad I'm more anxious than depressed, I would say, is
Yeah.
more my
Yes, I would
my
say that.
issue. Yeah.
Yes, you are. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, I have my own problems, but I just never had to deal with anything like that.
Yeah, definitely.
And no, we want him to be okay.
Yeah,
And,
definitely.
It's very nice seeing him happy too.
Has he been happier lately? Or
Yeah,
that's good.
I'd say so. It's not. It's very hard to explain. It's cause I don't want to give away too much about him personally, but these are all things that he's open about. So he's been he feels things.
Sure.
He feels things a lot.
Right.
And that's part of everyone I know with depression. And when I've had problems, it just you have more of a capacity, you're more vulnerable, and he's a very vulnerable person.
Sure.
And that's part of why his comedy works. So yeah, he's doing good, and hopefully, the important thing is not everyone with these kinds of problems acknowledges them.
Yeah.
And wants to work to make them better.
Sure.
Which that's the most important thing about him.
Right.
He's aware that he is dealing with something that is unfair and is in his head.
Yeah.
And he wants to be better. And that's, I think, the main thing.
Is he medicated in treatment and stuff like that, or?
I don't really get into that side of things.
Sure. I'm just curious.
With him.
Yeah.
I know that he's tried a lot of things, and he is certainly he's been very proactive with his mental health, which is important.
That's good. Yeah.
But which part of that is trying different things, trying different therapies. So he works very hard at that.
That's good. Well, tell him I love his Bada Bing tattoo.
Oh yeah, well, he loves The Sopranos.
Does he?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
He's got both the Bada Bing.
Is he Italian?
A little bit.
Okay.
He thought he was more Italian than he was.
He seems a little Italian.
Then we found out
I thought he was
actually
black.
way more Jewish than Italian, and Irish more than anything. I think
Really?
he's half Irish, and then his other side is mostly Jewish, some Italian.
Yeah.
A lot of people. I had a black woman roommate, who could not believe when I told her he's 100% white.
I thought he was black when he first came on the scene, for sure. When I first saw his Jimmy Kimmel set. I was like, oh, who's this black kid?
Yeah, he was wearing like a Bill Cosby sweater.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And when his hair is short,
yeah,
he looks crazy.
Yeah.
Like it's more indicative, and it's funny because
what's up, yo?
He's not black at all because he looks identical to his Jewish grandfather. Looks exactly the same.
Wow.
So yeah, he's white. It's just one of those weird coincidences that he had those lips and that nose, and it just kind of all came together.
Works in his favor these days in entertainment.
Well, sure, yeah. I mean, he could have, for all he could have been one of these guys who just lied and said he was biracial all these years if he wanted to, and
God damn.
and just gotten all these parts.
Yeah. Yeah, he could even pull the "so I'm Muslim."
Could you imagine? Can you imagine? He just lied, and he ended up being like the Stanfield part in Get Out. He ended up being like the
He's the Dolezal of entertainment.
Like, imagine how
he could have done it.
Imagine how much of a scandal that would be if like he was one of SNL's diversity hires.
Trump would have tweeted about it for sure. Lion Pete.
I had a sketch my second week there that did not get on the air, which I feel like I don't have to say that since none of them did. But where he said, I wanted to do a sketch, a backstage, which we hadn't done in a while.
Yeah.
For Tracy Morgan's episode, where Pete's trying to tell Tracy, but he doesn't give him a chance to speak. Where Tracy's talking about how happy it is, all these new black cast members.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the black cast members being like, where he says like, why didn't someone tell him I was white? And like, I want to have Sashir be like, we didn't know if you knew. When I met you, you were wearing a Tommy Gear do-rag.
That's good. That's funny. Yeah, because I mean, yeah, that's because he's like a hype beast too. Like he's into the hip hop culture. Yeah.
Yes, he loves his nice clothes.
Yeah.
Another thing we don't have in common.
Yeah. Yeah. On paper, you guys don't seem like
so
you
funny.
would. Yeah. Jive.
It's really funny how many ways we are not alike.
Yeah.
Considering all the ways that like we are when it comes to like what matters in like writing.
Right.
And like comedy.
Yeah.
Like our sensibility in comedy is very, very close.
For sure.
We like all the same things.
Right. What do you guys like? Like, what are your favorite shit that you guys
American
like?
Dad.
Yes. American Dad's great.
Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
And like really, really especially bad movies. Or like there's very few comedies we like.
Yeah.
You know, it's that sort of we both love all the same like we both love dramas, like crime dramas and stuff. True crime stuff.
I get along great with Pete.
Yeah, no,
that's all good stuff.
It's funny how many times I'll say something insane and he'll be like, "God, we're the same person."
God,
were you thinking that? Jesus. We both say like, we're both the kind of people that just think of like, the most fucked up joke in a situation, but to a lot of people like us.
Yeah, that's great.
But yeah, it's funny. Yeah, because he thinks that I'm weirdly cheap because I don't spend money like a dying French king. Because he's got the money.
Pete, your bank account, Pete, you can't let it. Not everyone's up to that.
I have many times explained to him the story of the ant and the grasshopper.
Yeah,
that's gonna be how I was like, I'm gonna end up supporting you, right? Like it's gonna the day is gonna come.
Pete's like an athlete that like runs out of money.
I mean, he's not like
30 for 30 broke, starring Pete Davidson.
Yeah, like he's not that kind of bad, but it is funny just to like make those jokes when it's like
that's good.
Because he loves wearing like he knows fashions. I didn't know what Balenciaga was.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a clothing brand.
Yeah,
it's very nice.
What's he onto? What should I keep the lookout onto? I'll keep a lookout for Balenciaga.
It's all pops and buzzes to me.
Yeah,
it's all white noise when they talk because everyone else.
Or
in
in
crew,
Pete's case, half black noise.
Yeah, it's all off-white noise. It's just,
ambiguous noise.
Yeah, I think. I literally could not tell you what he's because like I just tune that stuff out because we'll go to like shopping and it's like I'm not buying a $600 shirt. You know that.
Yeah.